Hey y'all, it's Cassie. I figured I would come on here and we could chat. I have a couple gardening things that I just kind of wanted to talk about. It's Tuesday. I almost said it was Monday earlier. The kids were out of school yesterday for Martin Luther King Day, and we sat around and watched the inauguration all day. We have a snowstorm coming to North Florida. We had snow flurries last night at like 9:55, 10 o'clock. But it was just a couple flakes falling out of the sky. It wasn't anything major. It didn't stick. And then it didn't even frost last night. So that was pretty bizarre. But tonight, I think is supposed to be the coldest, or tomorrow morning, the coldest. And so tomorrow is supposed to be our icy day. Usually it's just a bunch of ice every time they predict this. So we'll see what happens this time. I think where my parents are, it's like an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. To the west of us, it is supposed to actually snow. So I think they're going to get more snow than we get here. But on Mondays, I typically deep clean my house. So today's Tuesday. So I'm deep cleaning today instead of yesterday because me and the kids enjoyed our day together. So I'm washing off our sheets and our towels and scrubbing all the floors. So I don't know why, but our house gets filthy on the weekends. We rodeo and do horse events and things like that. And so I think we just run in, throw things down. The kids seem to track in more dirt those days also. I have no idea. So my deep clean day has always been Monday. I know a lot of people do theirs on like Saturday and Sunday, but my deep clean day has always been Monday. It just sets us up for the rest of the week to be successful, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I can do that. I got a package from Hoss over the weekend. It is the monthly seed subscription that I signed up for. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's a company that I started using probably 2 years ago. I think I discovered it probably 2 years ago. And it's somewhat local, and they are starting to grow on me. I've had pretty good success with everything that I've gotten there. The only issue I had was with a set of onion sets, and I don't necessarily think it was their fault. I planted them, and then we got like an unexpected freeze for like 3 or 4 days in a row. It never freezes that much in November, but this year it decided to, and so one of the varieties, it was just one of the varieties died, but not a huge deal. I was able to run to our local co-op and purchase a new set of onions to replace those that I talked about in one of my videos. This is the first month that I've signed up for it. It might actually be the first month that they're offering it. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw it. It came across my Facebook, and I had to sign up for it. They had like 3 tiers. I decided to go with the seed of the month. I like starting seeds, and I like collecting seeds. Y'all have seen my giant trunks full of seeds. So we're opening this together. Hopefully they don't care that I'm posting this on YouTube, and hopefully everybody else who has signed up have had time to get their seeds. So let's see what the heck we got for the month of January. And you don't pick what you get, you just get seeds. So first off, let's see how many seed packs we got. 1, 2, 3, we got 5 packs of seeds in this one. I'm not going to show you the sticker just because if you haven't opened yours yet, but it's super cute. So you get a sticker, and then she sends, Mama Hoss did a recipe card. So we got a recipe card, and then let's see what varieties we got. So this is a seed tape, and it's Komatsuna mustard, so that's pretty neat. I used their seed tape to sow some carrots out in my garden, and it was pretty successful on one of the rows that I did. So that's pretty neat that they sent a seed tape. Actually, it looks like they're all seed tapes. Giant white kohlrabi. I've never grown kohlrabi before. I have a bunch of seeds for it. It's also a seed tape, so we might throw this on the ground and see if we like kohlrabi, because we should have plenty of time. White Lisbon bunching onions seed tape. I've never planted bunching onions. I'm going to save this for the fall along with the mustard. So a French breakfast radish seed tape. It looks like they sent all seed tapes this time. Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and plant this one too. Oak leaf salad bowl lettuce mix, and it's a seed tape. All of these seed tapes are 15 feet long. And if you've never used a seed tape, it's like a paper tape with all the seeds evenly spaced out. It's super easy to use. And I enjoyed using, like I said, the carrot one that I used this year. And you just like lay it on the ground. I sprinkled some sand across the top so that the seeds could still pop through the top, and I just kept it moist and it sprouted and they were like evenly spaced out. It was really easy to use for carrots. I liked it better than the pelleted. I did try the pelleted seeds. I didn't have as much luck with the pelleted seeds, so I really liked the seed tape. So I got 5 new seed tapes. Some of them I'm gonna save for the fall just because I don't need anything else planted out into the garden right now, and I'm trying to give some of my soil time to rest. So these will all be good fall and winter crops. You could plant them now, or you can do like me and save the majority of them for the fall. So I think I'm gonna plant some of them, but not all of them. And you can always cut the tapes down. So like if you don't have a 15-foot section, and I did this in one of my other beds, I cut like little 4-foot sections, and so then I had more rows than just one. So that is what was in the seed of the month box. This is a good way to build your seed vault, just in case anything ever happens and we can't get seeds, or say I have money right now to buy seeds and next year I may not have money to buy seeds. So I've already stocked up for next year. So that's just an easy way to get seeds for future reasons. Anyway, I'm not really a doomsday prepper, but it kind of comes with the territory. So anyway, I posted a post that I sometimes hit up our local Ollie's. And if you've never been to an Ollie's, it's a giant bargain outlet. I guess like a Bell's outlet or a TJ Maxx or a Ross for junk. They have really good gardening stuff starting like this time of year. Like they'd already put out the big pots. So if you need like decorative terracotta pots that are like kind of like the Mexican pottery, they have a ton of those, and I love going there to get those for like my porch and stuff every year. I've seen like the garden barrier there pretty cheap, and the fabric, the landscaping fabric. I'm trying to think of what else I've purchased there over the years. The giant watering wands I've gotten there. But my favorite section is the book section, and I will usually go for just the book section, just to walk around the front, because, and they have a tiny, like ours is a tiny gardening section, like it's probably only like a 5-foot section of the entire book section that has gardening content. They have really good cookbooks too. There's a whole thing of cookbooks, but I've gotten some really good books, and I'm gonna show y'all my entire library if y'all ever want to see that. But this week I went and I picked up 3. I went and picked up 2 because I was in town. My husband sent me back into Ollie's because this winter storm is coming. We don't have a fireplace. And he said, I think we need a space heater. And I said, oh my gosh, they had like a giant space heater at Ollie's for $100. And he said, yeah, let's go get it. So he dropped me back in. And of course I went through the book section again and found another one. But we don't have a fireplace. I'm allergic to smoke, and so we had talked about putting in a wood burning stove. They really heat up the houses, and here in Florida, as y'all know, like most of y'all who are following me are in Florida, we'll have like 2 days of cold weather and then it like warms back up again. I'm not gonna say it gets super warm, but like a wood burning stove is kind of something like once you start, you don't stop. So we just felt like it would heat our house up too much. We have friends with them, and their house, like when you walk in, it like knocks you in the face. Like, ooh, I can't do that. So we never put a wood burning stove in. We did have plans to, but we decided against it. I'm allergic to smoke, so a fireplace just smoky. And anytime I go in anybody's house that has a fireplace, I like instantly like lock up and get in like sinuses shut down, and then I have headaches for like 2 or 3 days after. Just decided against the fireplace. So we decided that if our power goes out, which they're kind of predicting, I guess like in Texas last year where the lines got heavy with ice, and yeah, either they shut it down or the lines will fall down. They also said like we should be worried about trees getting coated in ice. We've had all those hurricanes the last 2 years, and if the trees get coated in ice, they're already weak. And so, I don't know, we don't have any trees left around our house because they've already fallen, but I guess everywhere else could possibly have trees that would fall on the line. So we could lose power. And we survive without air conditioner. It does get hot in our house, but I don't know that my children would be okay in 30-degree weather without a heater. So we went and got a space heater because we figured we could plug it into our generator that we have for when hurricanes hit and heat up at least one room of our house with the space heater. So anyway, he made me run into Ollie, so I found another book. Back to my story. So I figured I'd just go over some of the ones that I found this week. So this one's a regular $24.99 book, and I got it for $6.99, and it's Backyard Pharmacy, and it just kind of goes over herbs and how they can be used medicinal. I really liked this book. It's basic things like basil and chamomile, and mullein. And so I really liked this book because I'm looking at adding more medicinal things or things that could be used medicinally into my garden. So I got this book so that I could read up, and I've already read up on some of them. And this was the book that I got that I also posted about, Growing Undercover. So I decided this year I was going to be a flower farmer, and I haven't posted any videos on it because I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. I can absolutely post videos on it, but I don't really like to post videos on things that I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing correctly, because I think people come to YouTube to learn, not to watch somebody, I don't know, fail maybe. So I haven't posted a lot about me flower farming because it's my first year flower farming. I have 4 in-ground the flower beds for flower farming that I have started. I haven't posted a lot because I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. I don't know if I've started anything at the right time. I'm following a couple flower farmers, but they're all in different zones than me. So I'm kind of having to like take, okay, he's in a warmer zone, he's in a cooler zone, and mix it together and come up with my own time zone. So we'll see. I have snapdragons, I have ranunculus, I have some lily bulbs that are already in the ground because they were fall planted lily bulbs. I'll do zinnias again, sunflowers. I have gladiolas that I planted last year that'll come back. I overwintered them. Hopefully that was the right thing to do. Yeah, so we'll see how this cut flower thing goes. I kind of started it last year. I think like 3 years ago I realized how important pollinators were, so I started adding more of them into my garden. Last year I really ramped up. I had tons of sunflowers, zinnias, the gladiolas, and some filler flowers. I don't even remember what all I grew last year. Anyway, and then this year I was like, you know what, I'm going like all in. I want to add ranunculus because as you garden, you have like I have my seed bank. So like I didn't need to spend as much money on seeds this year. So I started investing my money in ranunculus corms and bulbs. Anyway, so I got this because it's growing undercover, and I just need to learn more about row covers and stuff because I find myself Googling, like when it was raining last week, I was like, oh my gosh, do I remove the row cover so that they don't get wet? But yet then they'd be exposed to the cooler air. I remove them in the middle of the day so that they still get the sun, the full sun, not the diluted sun, I guess that would be the word, from the shade cover or the row cover from the frost cover. I don't know. So I got this growing undercover. It was originally $24.95 and I got it for $4.99. So I haven't really started reading through it yet. It's more row covers for like vegetables, but I can translate it into how I need to use it anyway. And I think I'm gonna have to put a row cover up on my onions tonight. I don't know, like, do you row cover onions when it's gonna freeze like this? I think I'm going to, just because I lost that one set of onions. So I'm gonna read through this, see if there's a part in there that might help me decide. And then when I went back to get the space heater for my husband, I found Mastering the Art of Flower Gardening. And so this had like some ranunculus and things like that in there that I planted this year for the first time. So I decided to get this one as well. It was a little bit more pricey than I normally pay for books there, because normally they're like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99. This one was $9.99 and it's originally $30, but it's a hardcover, and most of the ones that I do buy there are soft cover. But I found some really good books there. So if you are ever near an Ollie's, I don't know if I'd make a special trip, because it's kind of like I'll drop in 1 month and they won't have any gardening books that are really relevant for me, and then the next month I'll drop in and they'll have some. They also have some, like, we've gotten a chicken. Hold on, let me go get those. We'll just go through it. Okay, so I just went and grabbed a section of it because I don't want to like overwhelm y'all with too much information. This is one that I got recently called Weed-Free Gardening. It's actually really good. I highly recommend this one. When I first started raised bed gardening, I was doing square foot gardening. This is great for learning about companion planting and stuff, but I don't necessarily square foot garden anymore because it was just too much for me in one little space, and I've got so many beds and stuff now that I spread it out. But if you only have like a little section and a couple raised beds, square foot gardening is amazing. And this book really goes in the depth on square foot gardening. It's the Mel Bartholomew who is the guru on square foot gardening. And so this book is great. Like I said, it's really good for companion planting too. So you can take stuff from it that's not necessarily square foot gardening. My little boy wanted a rabbit, so one week I was in there and they had How to Raise Rabbits book. So I got this book. It was super helpful and we now have a rabbit. So like I said, it's not just gardening books, it can be books for like homesteading too. We also got the Backyard Chickens book. I've had chickens for years, but I still picked this book up just to kind of see what it says. I like reading. I read more than I watch TV. And I read while I watch TV. I have ADHD, so I do a lot of things together. And then when we go on vacation and road trips, I like to read books and research. So I like having books because one day, what if the internet doesn't work? I mean, we've seen that things can get taken away this week. And so I like having books. So I'm just growing my library, and I'm doing it cheaper by shopping at Ollie's because books are expensive. Like, I have ordered a few recently off Amazon, but books are expensive. This is like my favorite one that I have ever picked up there, and so I would say that this would be one that is worth buying off of Amazon if you cannot find it at Ollie's. I really liked this book. I will say that her dates are a little off for Florida, so anytime you buy a book, that's something to keep in mind. Florida, like I said, South Florida, Central Florida, and North Florida all have insanely different start times and growing times, so you have to keep that in mind. And then Florida and areas around us have different growing conditions than anywhere in the United States. So keep that in mind when you're reading any book. A lot of times the dates and when you would start stuff is way off for here. So, but this book has a lot of in-depth information about each vegetable and harvesting, and just I really like this book. So if you're looking for a book to read about Gardening for Everyone by Julia Watkins, and I'll put a link to it to Amazon. I've heated up the sticker with the blow dryer and peeled it off, so I can't tell you what I paid for it at Ollie's, but it probably wasn't super expensive. The listing price on the back was $26.99. So I'll list it on Amazon and drop it in the comments. And I'll do the square foot gardening one because those are two of my favorite ones. But like I said, go to Ollie's if you're ever near one. I wouldn't drive out of my way just because sometimes they don't have anything. But like sometimes when I go to the grocery store in Valdosta, I'll run into the Ollie's there. We live on the border of Florida and Georgia, so sometimes I go up into Georgia. I will run into the Ollie's and see if they have books just because they're cheap, and I like learning more about gardening. You never know when one book might have more information than another. So I hope that y'all all have a good week. If you live in Florida, hopefully y'all are all bundled up. We put freeze misers on all of our faucets, so they are ready for the cold. We have all the animals bundled up in blankets. And I've got to go pick up some straw for my goats because their goat hut needs a new straw in it, which might be what I go do when I wash my next load of sheets, because yeah. And we've got them all hay and full bellies, and we are stocked up on groceries, of course, because we have the freezer's full and our cabinet is full of cans that I've canned. I don't have to run out and get bread because I made a loaf of bread yesterday. So yeah, we're as prepared as we can be. We've got our little space heater that my husband made me run into Ollie's and get. So I hope that all of y'all are ready for the cold. I'm not sure if I am. I'm a cool weather person, not a warm weather person. So we shall see, and I will talk to y'all later. We gotta up-hot those tomatoes next. I'm just not doing it right now because of the cold coming in. I have so much other stuff going on. But it was nice to chat with y'all. I hope y'all have a great week.